Man, we got Nhuri in this spot, and it's always good vibes, always good jokes, man. Every time Nhuri passes through, he's here representing Bermuda Walls. It's coming up in April. We got like a couple weeks away, right?
Yeah,
16 days to be exact.
It's coming very soon. April 12th will be the actual event over at Bermuda Walls. Looking forward to it. We got some new stuff this year. Yeah, there's this event called Secret Walls where they do like an art competition that's going to happen on the Bermuda Walls Day also.
Okay.
And it's kind of like it's almost like a rap battle, but for painting,
Okay.
I guess, for lack of
So
better
walk
terms.
me through that a little bit more. So I know that the painters kind of work at their own pace usually, right? But so this is going to be like time limits or like talk.
Yeah, it's time limits. So Secret Walls, you can check it out online. They have their own website, or I think it's secretwalls.world. Basically, they travel around the world and they have a competition, right? So they have two teams. Usually it's two artists and they give them some rules. So they say, okay, well, you can't use spray paint, or you can use spray paint, or you have to do everything by hand or whatnot. And that's 90 minutes. And in that 90 minutes, they create a piece, right? Each team creates a piece, and there's a commentator that's egging them on and, talking to the crowd and hyping everybody up or whatnot. And then basically at the end of the 90 minutes, there's two finished pieces, ideally. And there's two finished pieces get judged by the crowd, and whoever wins,
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
it's like a spray battle or an art battle. Let's call it that.
So now we're in the third year. Am I correct?
This is the third year.
Third year Bermuda Walls. And so do you find that there's pressure to bring new things like this to the event, to keep it fresh or to keep it growing or evolving?
Yeah, I think pressure is probably not the right word. I think that we want to do new and cool things and bring interesting and innovative things to the island, right? I think the pressure is to at least do as good as you did last year.
Right.
I think that's
Right. That's the baseline.
That's baseline. That's like we have to at least do as good as we did last year. And if we can do better, then great, And so we have some pretty amazing stuff. You had Shanna Hollis and Minister Tanae
Yes.
Furbert in here a few weeks ago.
Correct.
And over in Bayless Bay, over by the Bayless Bay Bridge, the new bridge.
Yeah.
Do we call it new anymore, right?
I mean, yeah.
The bridge.
It's the bridge.
The bridge. Right there on the railway trail, they have a beautiful wall that we had a community day, and the people from the neighborhood came out and helped us paint it and prime it all down. And we have some Bermudian artists that are going to be kind of making a landmark in that space, which to me is like super, super exciting. So we're going to have 2 days of events. We're going to have an event over there, which... It's going to be
I'll be there.
DJ'd by
I'll be there.
the best DJ in the island, Rusty G, on the 11th. And so we're asking people to come out to Bayless Bay and enjoy that and come and celebrate community. All of the artwork will be celebrating the Bayless Bay community and some of the historical elements that would have happened and kind of make Bayless Bay, a landmark. So that should be wicked and really awesome. That's brand new also. But to your original question, it's really not pressure. It's we want to do cool and interesting things and create an outdoor gallery for Bermuda,
I think you're definitely achieving that. First of all, kudos to you and the team that's been putting it together.
Us. Yeah.
You know what I
There's
mean?
definitely not just me. There's a lot of people that make this happen. And I don't want to take all the credit. 100%. There's lots of stuff that's going on that I don't even get a hand on, Shanna Hollis and Tanae and Dejan have been doing an amazing job pulling that one off, and kudos to them. So and then Butterfield and Vallis and the gang over at BMV, and All Rise and some of the other entities that helped to make this all happen. I can't take all the credit. I would love to, but I can't.
Nah, never that.
Not my vibe.
Teamwork makes the dream work,
Every single time,
So you had international artists that came in last year, working with our Bermudian talent as well.
Yeah.
Do you choose the same artists to come back, or do you look for new artists? What's the process?
Yeah, there's going to be a couple, new artists in that they haven't been to Bermuda. So basically what occurs is I have a counterpart, right? So I'll give you a full breakdown of how it all works in general, right? So my friend Gleason Leroy, he is what you call a curator, right? So over in Miami, you have, over in Wynwood, you've been to Wynwood, right? So,
yes, I have. Yeah.
yeah, Wynwood is like got all these crazy murals everywhere. And every year during Art Basel and throughout the year, they have muralists that come from all over the world to Art Basel or to Miami, and they do artworks on buildings around Wynwood. They do it in other places also, but Wynwood's kind of like the epicenter,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's the hub in Miami.
Us, when we're visiting there, when we go around, all you see is this guy spray painting there, this woman spray painting there, that person spray painting over there, this wall's got something beautiful on it. You kind of just get enthralled with like tons and tons of art.
Mm-hmm.
But what's happening behind the scenes is that there are different curators that are working with different artists that work with different buildings to be able to create their own curated set.
Okay.
So Gleason is a curator, and he has Wynwood Mural Festival, right? And Wynwood Mural Festival is a group of artists, mostly they call it MSG group, and that group of artists, there's a number of them. They kind of rotationally come to Miami, or they come to Bermuda for Bermuda Walls, and to other locations around. They have worldwide walls, and they travel around to those different locations. So Gleason, he curates. So he is the curator for Bermuda also,
Okay.
for the international artists. So he looks at their schedules, talks to all the different artists, and sees who's, one, available to come down, two, has a style that would work along with the Bermudian aesthetic, because, Bermuda has a specific aesthetic. And
Absolutely.
when you talk about art, you can go right across the spectrum, right? And some things just wouldn't fly in Bermuda that will fly in other places, no problem.
Especially if you're painting an entire wall or...
Yeah. 100%. If you're painting an entire wall, and then most of the walls that exist in Bermuda are either owned by a family or a business, right? And so there's a sensitivity around making sure that what is on that wall resonates and represents something that they would be interested in also. So Gleason operates as the curator, and he's the one that kind of works along with us to be able to select the artists that come down. Most of the artists that come down for Bermuda Walls and that have come down for Bermuda Walls are connected to the MSG and Wynwood Mural Festival group. Right?
Gotcha.
In future years, as we get bigger and bigger, we'll expand that out and have, artists that are represented from different groups that come down also.
That makes a lot of sense. So thank you for explaining that to me. So basically, Gleason being a curator, it is similar to a booking agent for an artist or a DJ.
Exactly.
Same kind of thing.
Exactly.
So big ups to Gleason and all the work that, is out there doing.
Yeah.
And
my phone doesn't stop buzzing because of Gleason. Yeah.
Nice.
I love him to death, but he ain't got kids, so,
I feel like that was a jab.
Sorry, yes.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about have you seen growth in the Bermudian interest in art through your involvement in Bermuda Walls? Have you seen more people saying, I want to do that, I want to be involved?
100%. I think that, one, we have some amazing artists in Bermuda. Let's just put that right off the, off the bat. The artists that we've worked with, or that I've worked with over the last couple of years, and I don't really consider myself a curator in the same way that Gleason is.
Right.
I consider myself like a connector, right? I know the artists, I have connections with them, and I'm happy to connect them into the Bermuda Walls kind of ecosystem. But what I've seen is a number of large-scale murals that are going up, and completely separate to Bermuda Walls.
To what you guys do, yeah.
Completely separate. So that tells me a couple different things. One, that the community, is interested in public art, right? So if a mural goes up, one went up in St. George's by Carlos Santana, that mural would have been, there's a group of people that would have said, we would love a mural on this space, right? And the fact that people are asking for that, to me, is one, a testament to the outdoor gallery sentiment or concept in general. I don't want to take full credit because, there's a lot of different variables in this world, but
of course,
to see that, that's amazing and progress. And then you see like Shanna came out to Miami, and she was in Wynwood, and she did a painting in Wynwood, right? So you're not just got
which is so dope for her.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? So big
right?
ups to Shanna one time.
And when I say, like, if you go out to the area in Wynwood where she did her piece and you look around, the colors and the vibrancy that she used, it just stands out. It's not even close, you know,
Gotcha.
it's world class, the piece that she had did there. And it immediately grabs your attention because there can be, in the art world, there's styles. And then certain styles, I don't want to say they're replicable, but they kind of meld into each other a little bit, you know?
That makes sense.
But her style is so far removed from the majority of the styles that are there,
Right.
that it stands out. You know what I mean? Like, and so to see our Bermudian artists going on to an international stage and performing and doing well and having something that's visually striking, to me, that's like, you can't ask for nothing better than that.
That's what it's all about, right?
That's what it's all about. You know, it's completely about shedding light to our local artists, connecting our local artists with international artists that are of a high caliber, and hoping that there's some rub off and that there's some synergy between the two of them, such that beautiful art is made. You know, and
Absolutely.
for me, job done. You know?
And you know what? I'm ashamed of myself because I had Shanna here the other day, and I didn't ask her how she was able to connect the dots between what she does here and that mural that she did out there. And I should have asked her that question when she was, I got to get her back here to get the story from her.
Get her back here. You know, I don't want to take her shine. She did an amazing job and honestly beautiful work. I just happened to be there to be able to see the thing all come together, you know, and I go to Wynwood I go to Miami for Art Basel every year. It's kind of like a boys trip, annual trip, you know, so I love to see it, you know, in her element, you know, and Bermuda tourism was integral in that also. But get the whole story from her.
Absolutely. I'm going to have to get her back here to get that story.
To talk about it, because that's epic. Bermudians doing stuff abroad is awesome.
Yeah, man, for sure. So Bermuda Walls coming up, April 12th,
this Sunday.
April 12th, this Sunday.
Yeah.
And what else can people expect this year? Anything new versus last year? Now, mind you, I wasn't there last year. I wasn't able, scheduling conflicts. I wasn't able to make it. You got me locked in this year.
Locked in,
So I want to know what I'm getting into. Tell me what I'm getting into.
So this year, I mean, we're going to have some of the old favorites and we're going to have the new, right? And so we've had the Papa Wheelie competition by Photogenic. So Photogenic should be there. You know, he says he may be traveling, but he may be there.
Is he entering? Because I know he did a bike thing the other day, and it was a whole thing between him and Minister and Daryl, and his bike breaking down, and somebody saying he decked out, his saying he didn't deck out. You saw the story, right?
If I could avoid being a Photogenic story, then that's like my life goal. My life goal is I just don't want to hear that with my name associated with it ever, right?
That's fair.
That's my boy. But honestly, he coordinates a really awesome set of young people that do the Papa Wheelie competition.
Right.
So we're gonna have the Papa Wheelie competition again this year. So we're hoping if you are a Papa Wheelie person and you know how to hold your wheel up and you know hold it for a couple seconds or a couple minutes or whatever you can, then please join up and contact Photogenic. He knows exactly what to do. We'll have some prizes that are going to be sponsored by community partners and Butterfield and Vallis. And then we're also going to have the jump rope. So the young ladies that do the jump rope and young fellas, because I think there was like 2 or 3 young men that were in it also. And then we're going to have the secret walls. Again, that's a big change up from last year. And then we'll also have the community wall where we'll have, you know, artists that or young children and adults that would like to get their hands wet or get their hands dirty and get some paint up on a wall. We'll have a community wall where they can come and collaborate on a collaborative piece.
Nice.
And then honestly, the Bailey's Bay project, that is, to me, that's epic, right? So for Bailey's Bay specifically, there's all Bermudians, right? So that wall will be a testament to some of the best of our Bermudian artists. And I want to say that there's 10 artists in total, or 10 artists that have submitted drawings for that Bailey's Bay project. And so that to me, and we'll have the 11th, we'll have some music and have some food and have some vibes there. And we'll really be able to celebrate our Bermudian artists. Obviously, we're going to celebrate the international artists as a part of the whole Bermuda Walls event. But really want to shine our light on some of our locals, you know, and come out and support them. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it should be amazing. So those are the new things. Still some old favorites, but new stuff also.
And just vibes.
Just vibes.
Vibes for the day.
Just vibes. And creation and the creation of new landmarks, right? And so I think that is important. The whole ethos behind Bermuda Walls is to create an outdoor open air gallery, right? So a lot of the artwork that exists, it's in places where you're meant to be spending some money to be in, right? You know, if you go to a hotel, you have to spend money. I mean, like you can just walk around, but that's not what the hotel is designed for.
It's designed for, yeah.
Or it's in private homes, or it's in a gallery. You know, and there's a certain exclusiveness that's associated with that. But the public art, you know, the art that's on the railway trail, the art that's on Butterfield and Vallis. You know, when I take my daughters across and she looks up at Squidlicker's work, she's got like let's call it the aquatic woman, right? Just, you know, they look up and you can see in their eyes like, wow, how is that done? You know, and they don't have to go in somewhere to be able to get that feeling.
Just walk down the street.
Just walk down the street, or on your way to school. You know, you see something beautiful, and hopefully, it inspires in them that this is a path, like a career path, because someone had to paint that thing. You know what I mean? Like someone had to use their artistry to be able to create it. So the hope is to be able to not just have the outdoor gallery, but also inspire people that this is a career path, you know, a viable path for people.
And I feel like every time I have you sit in the chair, I'm gotta get you to give at least one little tip to somebody who wants to be an aspiring artist. Anything that you feel would be of value.
I honestly think, you know, because I mean, geez, I'm an aspiring artist, right? And so at the end of the day, the artwork, like, and this might rub some people the wrong way, but everyone's got a cousin that sings the best, but they only sing in the shower, right? Mm-hmm. You never get to hear them. You know what I mean? You don't even get to hear them on Sunday at church or whatnot. The best singer, you're the best person, you know, somebody that is amazing, but you don't get to physically hear it. The best advice that I think that I can give to anyone is share your art, share your story, get involved, you know? Use social media. There's no reason not to be seen now, right? If you put your artwork up on social media, even if it's 5 people, people get caught up in the hype around virality, right? It's like, oh, if I put it up and I only got 4 likes, right? Or I put it up and I only got 5 likes. But 5 likes from 5 potential buyers is better than 500,000 likes from no buyers. Right? Or
this is it.
You know, like, so it's not necessarily about the amount of likes or the amount of views that they get. It's who's viewing it, right? You know,
so it's like, it's basically getting over that fear of putting yourself out there.
Put it out there.
Just put it out there.
Just put it out there. Yeah. I don't think that there's any other advice. If you're not putting it out there, you're definitely not.
Nothing's happening for you. Nothing's happening for you if you're not putting it out there.
Not at all. Not at all. So I would just say it's just get over the fear of objection, because I think that fear is mostly internal. I don't think that the majority of people, and if anyone has something bad to say about your art, then that's more reflection on that person, that they felt like they had to say something bad. You know, like
I also think it's just like, for people that are passionate about anything in general, a lot of times it's really personal for them.
Yes.
So putting it out there to the world sometimes is the scariest thing you could do, right? But it's also probably the most important thing, and the number one thing you have to do if you want to be out there. You have to 100%. Put it out there. It's not going to happen no other way, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you just look at a child, you know, a child has to crawl and then walk, but a parent has to be there to kind of guide them along, right? But if they never crawl, then they're never going to walk, and they're definitely never going to run.
Yeah.
Right?
You can't skip the steps.
You can't skip the steps, right? And so that initial step is what will allow you to run, right? And so I think that being fearful of taking that step is really, you're looking too far into the future. Let's just do one step at a time. Put it out there. Get some feedback, you know? Like
that's what holds a lot of people back.
You're looking too far into the future, right? And the future you is looking back at you saying, just post it. just put it up. Just share it.
Absolutely.
You know?
Hey, man, look, that's solid advice.
Yeah.
So, I know I asked the right person the right question. And another question that I did want to ask you with regards to the artist, with the submission process, you mentioned earlier that you had several submissions for the Bailey's Bay project. What's the process for somebody who might be watching this, listening to this, and they say, I'm an artist, I want my mural up on a wall somewhere. Can you talk us through step by step how that happens?
So again, what are you known for, right? Or how are you known, right? And so if you're at home and you're an artist and you're drawing, but you don't tell anybody, then the likelihood of you being found is very low. So we have a community of artists, and the artists suggest other artists, right? And so it's good to be connected into the artist community, right? And the first step to, again, connecting to the artist community is to reach out. So again, I guess, long way to answer your question. It's just reach out, send a DM.
Just reach out.
Yeah. If you can't get through to me, you can get through to Shanna. You can't get through to Shanna, you can get through to Jabari. You can't get through to Jabari, you can get through to Carlos. You can't get through to Carlos, you can get through to Alshante. Can't get through to Alshante. The list goes on. And so there's really no excuse. Reach out to somebody, and somebody will get to somebody, will get to somebody, will get to the right place. But it's that reaching out. Obviously, if you're watching this, you can reach out to me. I'm very easy to find. My Instagram is my name, Nhuri Bashir. So yeah, just reach out, and I'll answer when I'm not taking care of my kids.
Simple. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Nhuri, man, appreciate you. I want to make sure we ain't missing no details with the Bermuda Walls coming up. Anything that we've missed so far?
I just want to make sure that I give kudos to all of the team members that are making this thing happen. For the Bailey's Bay project, Dejan, Shanna Hollis, and Minister Tanae Ferbert, and Jabari Wilson is integral in pulling that whole thing off, and the slew of artists that you're going to see, participating and giving of their time and their art to be able to make that happen. Just want to make sure that I'm thanking those individuals for participating. Gleason and the gang, for curating the international artists that are coming down. We have some amazing artists that are going to be on the roster. You can check out our website, BermudaWalls.com, and get some information there. And as always, Butterfield and Vallis, Spencer and the team. When I say Spencer, I mean the team are always pulling together to be able to make this a spectacular event. Hamilton Princess and Bermuda, obviously they assist with the flights and accommodation, which without this large community of individuals that have a vested interest in the beautification of Bermuda, then nothing like this could happen.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's all been said.
That's it.
Nhuri, man, always a pleasure, man. And we got to start our own podcast with.
I'm ready.
Where we just talk about whatever.
Shoot the stuff,
Shoot the stuff.
Yeah.
Because we have a whole podcast before the podcast every time you come in.
And I've said it to you before. I'm like, dude, just as soon as I hit the door there, just hit it. Hit the record button. I don't even need to know, because you drop all these jams, and then I'm sitting there saying, "Cheese."
Nah, man, you're the one dropping jams. Right?
Nah. Don't talk no trash. Trash. You schooled me on the whole radio industry.
Maybe.
Why you're the top?
Maybe. Yeah. Yo, once again, if you're here at this part of the video, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in, watching the Irie98 podcast. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel that is Irie98 on YouTube. We have stuff like this. We've got live juggling from the DJs, so much more stuff, right? So make sure you go check it out. Subscribe to the podcast. And that's also Irie98 in your podcast app, all right? That's Rusty G and Nhuri. We are signing out. Peace.